Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. So this morning we are going on another excavator rescue mission. So we're going to get up here to the shop. We've got to get the Cat D8H dozer running. We got to get the 270 Hitachi excavator running, and we're going to get them moved over to the pond where the excavator needs rescued out of. It is a John Deere 892. Unfortunately, a friend of ours had a little incident. He was sitting on a shelf alongside the pond, reaching out a little farther digging. His shelf collapsed and the excavator slid down in the water. So the excavator's pretty much submerged in water. The only thing sticking out of the water are the tops of the cab, the engine hood, and the air breather is just barely above the water. So stick and boom are exposed. It is sitting upright, and the tracks are heading towards the bank that we're going to pull it out to. So we're going to set up a parted line with some pulleys and a cable. We're going to pull on that with the D8, and then we're going to use the 270 and the drag line that's sitting over there is a dead man as an anchor to pull against with the parted line. We're going to take the 270 and we're actually going to dig another shelf farther in, and we're going to try to get the 892 slid up on that shelf. I probably won't be able to do much talking in the videos, so I'm trying to explain some of this ahead of time. But right now I'm going to get everything ready. We'll get it over there. I got to grab some rigging out of the building, and we'll get started and hopefully get it out of the water by lunchtime. Let's see what happens. So let's get at it. So if you're wondering, a John Deere 892 set up like this one weighs about the neighborhood of 75,000 pounds. So it's a fairly heavy excavator to be pulling out dead, but I think we should be able to get it with no problem. If we have to, we will go get my Uncle Jamie's 330 Hitachi for assistance, and maybe if that's not enough, we'll take the 220 Hyundai over there, or go get the 200 Hitachi of ours and use those also. So let's see what we can do with the pieces that we've got at hand first, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so we got a chain around the pedestal of the excavator, around the swing bearing, below the swing bearing, and we got a cable out. We're going to put the blocks in, the pulley blocks, get the line put in, and then I'll pull on that line with the 8, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so we got it this far, and got a suspicion that the tracks are digging in. So Dad's going to go ahead and he's going to dig a ramp with the 270. Hopefully we can get it started up the ramp, get it slid up on. We'll probably dig a shelf and get it up on a shelf, and then slowly work it to higher ground. He's gonna make him a shelf to sit on. It's going good though, until we broke that cable, but at least we didn't break the chain that's under the turntable. And we were able to get the chain up that high, so we can just connect there now. Nobody's got to get in the water. Change a couple rollers on that undercarriage. Got them in the shop, just got to do it. Oh, we can get in the bucket and get to there. That's what we'll do. We'll just work out of the bucket instead of the boat. That'll work. Good idea, Dad. Well, I've never seen this view before from an excavator. Like being on a boat. As you can see the water in here. You can see how high the water was up on the turbo. So I'm going to take a bar now and I'm going to turn this over in the teeth of the flywheel here and see if we can get it to roll all the way over without hydro locking. If there's any water on top of the pistons, it'll do that and it'll tell us that we'll have to pull the injectors out. Hopefully there's no water on the pistons and we can get it running, and then we can swing it, get the tracks running. So let's see what we can do. So there's actually a little bit of life in it. Just gotta get the starter solenoid to engage. This might be promising. Well, we're gonna give it another shot this morning on getting the 892 out. Over the weekend they did get it running. Had to pull the injectors out. It did end up having water on 2 cylinders. And had to change the starter because the starter would run, but it just wouldn't engage. So we swapped the starter out off of the 850B John Deere dozer. It's sitting on our sand hill into the 892 and got it turning over. So I didn't have any part in actually getting it running over the weekend. We had our stuff going on. So we're back today and we're going to try to get it out. The nice thing about being an 892D is it doesn't really have a lot of electronic stuff in it. It's just got basic electronic stuff in it, but nothing that would affect it running or throttling. That's all manual controlled. If you get into like the Dash 5 series or even like the 892 ELCs, them had a lot more electronic stuff in them. If a Dash 5 Hitachi went under the water, got water behind the seat, it'd ruin the computer in them. So the Dash 5s are right there behind the seat, and even if you got a broken window out, you want to get the window put back in, because you get any rain behind that seat and it'll ruin that computer. If the plastic cover that's over it, it's just like a real thin plastic flexible cover. If that's cracked and it gets water down on the computer, it's bad for them. So let's get things set up again, and we'll do some more pulling on it. So we're going to try a few different things. Probably get a bucket of dirt and put it at full reach, and that'll help tip the rear up, and with the tracks running and us pulling, it should run right up and out. We don't want to run it too long though, because until it gets a full service, we don't know where there's water at and where there isn't water. So we're going to try to run it as minimally as we can, but we'll run it enough to get it out of the pond. So let's see what we can do today. she's up out of the hole, out of the water. Now we'll dig out behind it a little bit, get him out of there, and then he'll be good. The old 8 done well. Thank you CNC Equipment for getting me all the parts to get that dozer back together. Greatly appreciate it. You guys are great. So, all right. Thank you for watching. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you everybody who's involved. A lot of help out here. The community really come together and we got her out. So, thank you for watching. See you all in the next one.